Hello, and welcome back to my IL2 Ironman career mode playthrough. Again, we're flying an I16 as Soviet Junior Lieutenant Ferat Gusarov. And this is going to be our second mission in the playthrough. We are assigned to intercept a recon plane, which is a mission that I had never done before. As you'll see, it's pretty different than sort of what I'd done before. You're sent out with a much smaller force to try and intercept a single plane. Here you can see my settings that I've got. Again, everything's set to random, just so we don't really know what we're going to be running into. And to remind you, this is an Ironman playthrough, so if I am captured or killed, the run will be over. My character will be deleted, and that will be it. So hopefully I can keep this running for a while, but no promises. As far as setup goes, I'm again choosing the one-piece windscreen, which is just superior in every way. And then the cannons, the 20 millimeters, just because I think we're going to need that. So this is a boring mission, if I'm being real honest. I just end up sort of climbing for 20 minutes and then trying to catch this plane that's up there that we're trying to find. I'm not going to just show that, so I'm going to go ahead and cut ahead through a lot of that flying and just show you when I actually encountered the plane. Alright, so I cut ahead. It's been, like I said, probably 20 minutes of flying to get up here to about 7,000 meters. We finally get to where I can try and intercept this guy. And I've really only got one chance to do this. Because he's a Ju-88, he's much faster than me, especially at this altitude. So yeah, I'm trying to get some shots in. Honestly, I should have cut that harder, I think. So I tried taking some long shots here, but it's fruitless. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to be able to catch up to him. I mean, unless maybe I chase him all the way back to his airfield, but that's not worth it. Just take the L and move on to the next one. So I'll go ahead and cut ahead to our landing, and then we'll move on. Nice, smooth landing. Not a lot going on here, though, besides that. Mission failed. And honestly, I'm not sure where the other two guys were. I never saw them anywhere close to the enemy plane. But, you know, at least we tried. Looks like everybody else gets to go on an anti-bomber patrol. So one thing that's cool about this game, little details like this, is as the campaign progresses, you can look at newspapers that sort of goes over. Well, the main thing is it's got the top aces, which are embarrassingly low for the Soviets right now. But yeah, you've got like a little news blurb about what's going on at this point in the war. It looks like it's still Operation Barbarossa at full swing. But yeah, that'll change as time goes on. As well as the battle lines will change as well. Like I think if we get pushed back, we'll have to fly over to a different airbase and operate from there. So that's what that headquarters tab was for. Well, looks like up next we have an airfield defense. Ooh, a 2 mission day. That should be fun. Let's see if we can get going. We're going to pick our regular loadout and checking my convergence. I think I'm just going to leave it there for now. 350 is about, I think, where I like it. So we're getting to the action pretty quick into this one. It seems like they're right above our airbase. And there are quite a few of them. I think I'll try and climb a bit above these guys if I can, give me some kind of advantage. It sucks pretty bad to be below a BF-109 in one of these things. Looks like it's E7s again, which I think at this point in the war were being used as ground attack aircraft. And they were saving the new models, the F models, for their superiority. I16. Make sure no one's dive on me here. I think the main defense when they are diving any one of these things is just do a really hard turn to hit them. Just to screw up their angle. And if you're lucky, they'll follow you into a turn fight, which would be a win in this thing. Target. It's kind of off on the edge of everything. Making sure he's going to come in on me. Looks like he's not for some reason. I'm going to stick on old Kurt here. Looks like he's been hit by something. Hard to say what. Yeah, he's leaking a bit. I'll take it. You got a lot more trigger time with the machine guns on this plane, so I'm able to shoot some of those out. So I'm not really confident that I'm going to hit with them. If I'm being honest on that one, I think the ground AA did most of the work for us. But the game gave us the kill, so I'll take my 1,000 rubles. That'll be another mission under our belt. And another 1,000 rubles from Stalin. Thank you, Stalin. It looks like only one of us died, but it was the captain. So this last mission of the day is a frontline patrol, which means we fly to the front line of the battlefield and sort of just patrol for whatever might harm the ground units there. Skip ahead a bit so I can show you this look at the fighters we run into. So I think these are the first F-Series planes we're going to be running into here. I don't know if the F2 or the F4 is the newest, but these are significantly better fighters than the E7. That being said, I think we got them pretty outnumbered here. Actually, I take some engine damage from our debris that's flying off of them. So I'm kind of greedy for that kill. Oh, we secure it. So one thing to note here is that we're right over the battle lines. So if we're over the front line, we're in enemy territory. If we go down, if we bail, we're done. We're captured, and that's the end of the run. I'm very lucky that you go down here. Because even though we have way outnumbered, I mean, I wasn't able to climb up there and safely get to him. I almost thought he was going down for a minute there, but he pulls back up and right next to us, definitely. One cool thing about this game is the AI gives you different levels of competency. So you see next to that guy, he's got two little chevrons. That means he's a more experienced pilot or a higher rank. But you could just easily run into newbies that behave like they don't really know what they're doing. And I steered a little hard there. One thing that hasn't really come up is that this plane is very twitchy. If you put hard input controls in, it's gonna be very unstable. Even more so than other planes at this time. Because for those of you that have played War Thunder, this is a pretty good low-tier plane. But something that you don't really get in War Thunder, at least in the realistic mode, is that you don't really get to see how twitchy and strange these things fly. Because on paper this thing's really movable, but when you actually get into it and you have to sort of baby it into some of these turns. It's hits in there and a little greedy. That was pretty close. Maybe we're stalling out. Hopefully he's hurting pretty bad. I don't think we're going to have much issues taking him down. Looks like he wants to go down with the ship. this down and move on to the next one. Let's see how everything shook out here. Okay, looks like we got ourselves a award for some reason. And our 2,000 rubles. Ooh, okay, only 3 wounded and 1 killed. That's not that bad, I guess. Yeah, on to the next day. I'll see you guys on the next episode.